Okay, we're live. Hello, everybody. How you doing, everyone? It's Bruce here, live from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Post Stampede Week. We're surviving. The Cowboys have moved on to other rodeos, and off go the chuck wagons, and everyone is trying to sober up. How you doing? It is Monday, July the 22nd. 2024, and Jennifer and I are now less than a month away from traveling on our trip. As a matter of fact, I think it's 4 weeks from today. I think it's Monday, the 19th of August. I think, isn't it? Isn't that what it is out there? Isn't it true that August the 19th happens to be a Monday? It is Monday, August the 19th is the day we are flying to New York in 4 weeks. Oh my goodness. Not that I'm counting the days, but it's 28 days. Yeah, all right. Fantastic. We'll be in New York for 4 days. Then we'll be on the Queen Mary 2 for 7 days across the Atlantic. Then we'll stay on the Queen Mary 2 for 12 more days. Go around the UK, stop in Cork, Ireland to see a friend of ours. And then we get off the ship in Southampton and we head our way over to London, where we will be staying at, is it the Crown Plaza? I'm trying to remember the Crown Plaza Hotel in London, right near the Westminster Bridge. And we'll be there for 2 weeks. We're going to get some viewing in different places in London. We have so much yet to see in London. We've been there a number of times, but we just have not seen enough. And from there, we fly out of London City Airport, right downtown by the river. We will take off from there on Swissair. We're heading to Zurich. That'll be, what is that? September 25, we'll be over there. And we will be end up in Zermatt in Switzerland for about just over 2 weeks. And then we're going to come back to Zurich by train and fly to Hamburg, Germany. And we'll be in Hamburg on October the 11th. And on the 15th of October, back on the Queen Mary 2 from Hamburg to Southampton to New York City. And we'll be in New York for 4 days once we return to New York, and then we come back. So that's the big picture. 70 days. That's a 10-week getaway, 70 days. And we're looking forward to the entire experience, and we'll take you along with us. It looks very promising that Jen and I will be able, or I will be able to produce videos on board the Queen Mary 2. The internet, the Starlink internet service they have, apparently is of such a high quality that the speed of the internet, even in the middle of the Atlantic, is very good. So I'm quite looking forward to that. I'm hopeful that I might be able to go live from my cabin for my other channel, my stock market channel. We'll see how that plays out, depending on the waves, the rocking and the rolling and the moving, and we'll see how all that works out. But we have an outside balcony cabin, and I'm sure I can hang over the edge while I say hi to all you. We'll see what's going on. Anyway, looking forward to the big trip coming up and all the adventures after that. Welcome all to the channel. Nice to have you here. That's our next big trip, this 70-day European deal. And after that, the thought is that we might be doing the Down Under holiday, the Down Under, Australia, New Zealand. And it's a matter of exact timing and length, and it could mean that once we've done that, we may end up going from that region back to California to finish our winter off, and then we'll be back in Calgary next year in June. And so that could be a 5-month getaway overall as well. So yeah, we're scheming away. The good news for Auntie Jen, those of you who are following her physical and health condition, very good news. Her 2 hip replacements have gone perfectly. She has no pain at all in either hip. She has much more flexibility now. She can do something now that she hasn't been able to do in almost 8 years, maybe longer, 10 years. She can tie her own shoes. She can put shoes on, sit down on a couch or on a chair, and she can bend over and reach her shoelaces to tie her own shoes on rather than just put slip-ons on. That is a big deal. The ability to be able to touch her own feet is another biggie. To be able to bend her knee, bend her hip. These are the little things we take for granted when we don't have this issue. We don't have arthritis. We don't have a bad hip condition, bad knees. Amazing, just amazing. She's doing very well. She's very pleased. And we're very much looking forward to our trip coming up. Indeed. Hello, all of you who are here joining me. Thank you for those of you who are taking the time to hit that thumbs up button as soon as you can. I appreciate that, letting me know what number you are. I have a poll question going today. I don't do this very often, but if any of you would like to answer the poll question, I would love to get your thoughts. The question is, so far in my lifetime, I have been on, and then we have 4 choices that you can choose. More than 10 cruises, 5 to 10 cruises, less than 5 cruises, 0 so far. None whatsoever. And we have now 13 votes already. I've only just started the show a few minutes ago. We got 13 votes here. 62% are saying I've been on more than 10. 5 to 10, 23%. Less than 5 cruises, 8%. And 7%, none. I haven't been on a cruise at all, and I'm hanging out with you, Uncle Bruce. Hanging out with you on TWB to see what it's like and get some info from you. So welcome those of you who are seasoned veterans of the cruise world, those of you who have never done it before, and everyone in the middle who's all part of it. I appreciate you all being with me today. Great to have you here. Say hi to me. Tell me where you're watching me from. What's the temperature where you are? Are you in a heat wave wherever you are? Did any of you get on a cruise in the last little while, went to various places, and it was just so hot wherever you got to get to? Was it unbearably hot and humid, or was it a pleasant surprise? Let me know. Also, I'm curious to know if any of you would like to tell me. Those of you who've cruised for a while, can you tell me today the difference in quality for food quality on board cruise ships before COVID and now well after COVID? Can you tell me if it's any better, or is it the same, or is it worse? And any details you want to provide, you're more than welcome. I'd love to hear from you. I'd be curious to know. I was just watching a video earlier today. Ben and David have a cruise channel, Ben and David's cruise channel. And they were on the Queen Mary 2. They took the transatlantic from Southampton over to New York not too long ago. And they gave the ship, the overall Queen Mary ship, a 5-star out of 5-star rating. They were very impressed with the ship, very happy with the ship. They admitted there were some areas of the ship that were tired looking and so on. This is the ship that Jen and I are going on. But all in all, the experience of being on this transatlantic liner, worth it, 5 out of 5. Then it got disappointing after that. And I found that to be rather interesting, because this is the Cunard line. You would think that Cunard, being a 5.5 star luxury line, would not have this kind of rating. They were giving the crew, the service on board the ship, 2 out of 5. And they targeted the culprit. They said, we know exactly what it is. Understaffed on the cruise ship at every level. Room stewards, not enough. They made too many cutbacks. Waiters, cutbacks in the dining rooms. The quality of service, very poor. And they said within half an hour of being on that ship, within 30 minutes of boarding the ship, they could tell the morale was really bad. The staff morale was terrible. And I thought, That's an interesting comment. Then they talked about the food. 2 out of 5. The food was subpar. Said the main dining room is a beautiful room. The dining room is gorgeous. The food was below standard. They said it was not up to the cruise line's reputation at all. And then they commented that while on board their cruise, they had other passengers come to them because they knew who they were, Ben and David. And they came to them, and Ben and David said, "What about the food? Have you folks found that it's, what is it? What are your thoughts?" And people were giving him a low score. They said, "Oh yeah, it's way down. Pre-COVID to now, not comparable. And the service, very poor." I found that to be interesting. And then they mentioned the entertainment on board, all the activities and what you could do on board. And they were saying one thing. They said, "Look, we were not the high-end passengers. We weren't in the owner's suite. We weren't in the Queen's Grill or the Princess Grill. We weren't in first or second class. We were in steerage. We're in the 4th level, the Britannia class, which 85% of the passengers are Britannia class." That's Jen and I. We're in Britannia class. They said entertainment on board this ship and what to do on this ship, 2 out of 5. Same thing. There's just not as much variety. It's not great. The internet, 5 out of 5. Internet was fantastic. They said it worked really well. The onboard television system, 1 out of 5. Really bad. They didn't like it at all. It was poor. They didn't seem to upgrade it when the ship went in for dry dock. They said, so if you're looking for movies and television to watch while in the middle of the Atlantic, you're not going to be very happy. You're going to have to go onto the internet, and that's what you pay for. Jen and I will be doing that. I found all of that very interesting. Anyway, I would love to know any thoughts from any of you about any cruises you've taken and cruise lines. Has the quality of cruising depreciated from a food standpoint? I'm curious about your buffets, poolside selections, grand ballrooms. Have you found that prices are much, much higher now for specialty dining and it's nothing special? I would love to know. Robert is in the house. Robert Mellon, how you doing? Number 3, thumbs up. Thank you, my friend. Sharon is here. Number 6 tonight, Bruce. The author has finished principal narration on Double Takedown, Mike Stoneman Thriller number 6, and is working on editing the audio files. Fantastic. Tom Henry is here. Number 7, hello, everybody. Ken Koreka, hi, Bruce and Jen from Saginaw. The temperature is 78 degrees here in Saginaw, with smoke from wildfires moving in the next couple of days. Gasoline is at $3.78 a gallon. Good evening, all, Janet and Ken. Number 1, thumbs up. We here are in the high 80s today, and it's kind of smoky here. Yeah, it's not a very clear sky at all. Ken Koreka, we are working on a transatlantic cruise in October from Lisbon to Florida on Norwegian Cruise Lines. Robert, sorry, I've been missing Stock Markets with Bruce lately. It's okay, Robert, you're a busy guy. I've been on about 3 cruises though. Kirk Brunson's YouTube and Facebook channel. Hi, Bruce and TWB Familia. Kirk from New York City is here, and I'm at work today. Welcome, sir. Robert, answering your question, I've been on about 3 cruises. Gold Bagel logo is up. Oh, thank you for that. A heads up. I can count on you for that. I thank you, my friend. I keep forgetting to put up the logo right there for Traveling with Bruce. Thank you, Robert. I appreciate that. Keeping me honest on that one. Wes Morrison is in the house from Texas. Hello, TWB family. 85 degrees from Braunfels, New Braunfels. How you doing, buddy? 85 degrees. Gas is $2.81 a gallon. That's nice and cheap, actually. Here in New Braunfels, Texas, right on. Donnell is in the house from Cork, Ireland. Hi, Bruce and all. I'm number 9. Got your email. I'll be answering you shortly, my friend. Thank you so much. Robert, all on Carnival. Those have been my cruises. Clifford, hello there. Hi, Clifford. Deanne, hi, Bruce. Your travel plans sound wonderful. Our next cruise is in October to Mexico. Al and Deanne in Pasadena, California, where it is 90 degrees out. I guess in the desert where we love to hang out for the winter. 115 lately, pretty hot. Even 120 a few weeks ago. Yikes. Shumai Sadiqui. Nowadays, many companies cut the labor hours, but the prices are still going up. Inflation and shrinkflation. Yeah. Richard Carlin, number 14. You got it. Welcome, Richard. Hello, Wes Morrison, number 11, Bruce. on your thumbs up meter. Thank you all so very much. I have heard from some viewers and others about the slow but steady pullback on quality in certain instances on cruising, whether it's been maybe the buffet offerings are not as nice as they once were, or there was a time where if you went to the main dining room and they would offer pork chops in the main dining room, you could also go to the buffet and get pork chops there for that special night. Or if the main dining room would have whatever another dish that evening, that dish will be available in the buffet. I'm not getting that anymore. I'm not hearing that kind of thing. It sounds more and more like the buffet is getting a kind of a cheaper and cheaper fare, and that the main dining rooms are becoming more, I don't know, just not as good. Is it me? I don't know. It might be me, but I get that impression. Any event, it is what it is. We have 16 thumbs ups. Thank you everybody for that. Keep them coming in if you can. Here's the poll question. 22 answers now. So far in my lifetime, I have been on more than 10 cruises. 50% of you say yes to that. 5 to 10, 23%. Less than 5 cruises, 18% of you. And I've never been on a cruise, 9%. So looks like a couple of folks here have not been on a cruise so far. But you're welcome to join us, and we'll tell you all about it if we can. We'll try to give you some info about cruising. Absolutely. Kevin Chapman, the author himself, is in the house tonight. Thumbs up number 16. Bruce, hello from beautiful central New Jersey. I'm editing audio tracks while listening to you. This is fun. The best to Jen. And hi-ho, and away we go for our next cruises, everyone. Yes. Najuma Brown, NB is here. Hello, everybody. Hello. How are you? Welcome to the show and the channel. Now, some news for you today from the wide world of cruising and so on. There's a story that broke a day or two ago. Let me show you a photo here if I can find it quickly. I uploaded some photos today to show you this ship right here. This is the Sun Princess, brand new ship for Princess. Looks like that's a shot of it's in its final construction phase, but it's now running. Apparently, on the top of that ship, where you see the stacks, the smokestacks up there, the exhaust stacks, just behind there and just in front of that area, that was supposed to be an area of all kinds of new and unique cruising activity that was supposed to set the world on fire. This is an artistic computer generation of some of what was going on, or supposed to be going on. They were supposed to have something called a roll glider, a coastal climb, and a ropes course up there. Apparently, none of them are going to be made available to passengers. This entire area of the ship will never be open to cruisers. It's completely not available and will not be made available. I kind of get the impression that there's a possibility that over time, and I don't know how they're going to do it because the ship is now at sea, but I would imagine they might put workers up there and dismantle all of this stuff piece by piece by piece. Maybe they'll wait for a ship to come into port one day, and then they'll send 20 guys up there to take a part of it off and get rid of it, and then the next time it goes to port, they'll do it again. I don't know. The question is why? Why is it that this cruise ship tried to bring brand new features onto the ocean, only to find that none of these were to ever be offered? This has got to have cost millions to design and figure out and engineer, and then let alone the cost to build this. I mean, take a look at that photo. There's all kinds of stuff up there. All that is no longer, it's never been opened. It's never going to be, it's not going to be available. Apparently, safety considerations are one. There's something to do with safety. Go figure. Construction flaws. Apparently it didn't come off quite correctly. And regulations safety regulations in different destinations. When these ships leave the home port and they stop in maybe 3 different countries on a cruise, or 4 different countries, you have to remember that when a cruise ship comes into port, the cruise line is basically bringing a ship into another country, and there are limitations to what they can do there. In some cases, in many of the cases actually, you can't operate the casino. The casino is shut down. It is not allowed to be operating in port in almost every country that I know of. So when the ship is in international waters, you could crank your slot machines up and let the gamblers lose their money. But coming into port, can't do that. Now there are other things starting to happen, and I read this and mentioned this to you maybe a few months ago. I may have mentioned this to you about how the Bahamian government has decided, and I'm not criticizing the Bahamian government, by the way, but they came out with a law that basically told the cruise lines that if you're bringing your ship into Nassau, or you're bringing your ship into a private island of yours, and you're going to sell people alcohol and or drinks or meals, or you're going to charge them for any services, you are conducting business inside the Bahamas. And you have to adhere to the laws of the Bahamian government. And apparently, there is now a 10% beverage tax charged on drinks for cruise passengers having a drink inside Bahamian waters, charged by the cruise line onto your account, plus that 18-20% tip, whatever the cruise line is charging. I'm wondering about these roll glider, coastal climb things, and rope course. I'm wondering if any of those three were going to be charged for services. Were they going to charge a $5, $10 all-day pass or something like that onto your ship account for the kids to play with this all day long, or adults to play with it all day long? And I'm wondering if the Bahamian government and the Barbados government and the folks at Saint Martin and the good people in Turks and Caicos and anywhere else, could there have been the possibility that Princess Cruise Lines was going to be had to charge a sales tax on top of those fees to their passengers, and they decided they don't want to do that? I'm wondering, is that it? I'm kind of thinking more along another tangent, and I think what it might be is that the lawyers for Princess, the corporate lawyers in charge of not getting us sued, I think they said to these guys, you are setting yourself up for litigation like you can't believe, because even if you put a harness over the shoulders and around the belly of a passenger, and then you hook them into a safety line, if that passenger injures themselves by partially falling off the ride and now they're suspended with the harness holding them up, and they dislocate a shoulder, or they twist a wrist or an elbow or something like that, you guys could get sued to oblivion. And you may find that what's going to happen here is there'll be certain passengers who will get on that ship in order to get injured on purpose and sue you guys for millions. And I wonder if maybe the lawyers said, no dang way are you going to offer this to Americans. You don't want to offer this to Americans. You don't want the cruise ship to start from the U.S., end in the U.S. on this journey. You don't want any part of this. The litigious nature of America is so poisonous that you're going to be in court forever. Not a good idea. And I wonder, again, I'm speculating. Have any of you ever heard of any kind of a legal case being brought against Carnival for those roller coasters at sea rides that they've got on the big ships? I wonder if anyone has tried to sue them for whatever reason. I'm just asking. I don't know. I'm kind of curious. Anyway, this was an interesting thing. This whole Princess Cruise line not allowing and not even opening these attractions on a brand new ship. You know that they tested this. They had to have tested this entire thing on dry land. They must have set up, what am I looking for? They must have set up mock-ups. They had to have done mock-ups. They had to have done testing. They should have, and you would think they would have tested these on board the ships on sea trial days. Maybe the sea trials came back so badly that passengers were bumping their heads against the glass here on this lookout thing, and they were, they were being blown about up on the top there with the winds and so on. Maybe the cruise line figured out that we can only use these features when we are at port, and inside port, we're now inside countries where we don't pass safety regulations. Maybe we have all kinds of problems. Also, I'm wondering if whether the cruise line found out, you know what, we have to have 5 people up there, 5 of our staff members up there watching everybody to make sure that nobody gets hurt. Because if we don't have people there watching the kids and the adults, we could be sued for negligence. We could only have 1 cruise member up there, not good. Well, at $10 or $12 or $15 an hour per person, and what if the deal is that if you allow people to use those features in port cities, that you have to pay labor rates to the staff for that feature that had to be licensed in that country. All of a sudden, you've blown everything out of the water. I mean, you might have unemployment insurance to be deducted, to income tax deducted. I don't know what. Obviously, certain countries in the Caribbean have no taxation. Others do. This could be just a legal nightmare. And I think Princess walked away from it and just went, not going to do it. Not good. There you go, right there. Good. Not going to do it. Interesting. Now, here's something that I came up with. Let me just quickly come back to the comments and make sure I haven't missed anything from you. Thank you all for popping in here. Roger, good evening from Jacksonville, just back from Alaskan Crown Princess Cruise. Sharon, did you see that Norwegian is going to start sailing out of Philadelphia in 2026? I've heard the word. Ms. M. Hi, Bruce and all from UVic. Graduated 28 years ago. I go to Victoria every year. Ms. M, number 21 for you. And Roger, number 25 thumbs ups. Thank you, everybody, so much. Did you hear about the story that is just making the rounds about Royal Caribbean? I will show you a few photos of a ship I'm talking about. I talked about this ship last week. I believe it's this one right here, the Utopia of the Seas, the largest cruise ship. Is it the largest or the second largest in the world now? It's one of the big boys. And, this ship has all the features, like all Oasis class ships. You've got multiple decks with multiple pools and spas and water rides. And over here you got the Wave Runner and mini golf and the slide there at the back and the Aqua Show. If you're watching Tony on his channel, he was just on this ship and he was doing videos like crazy on it. There's the solarium area. Really nice. Really nice. Apparently, there's another shot right there. Apparently, there's something else about this ship that is catching a bit of attention. And I was a bit puzzled by it at the beginning when I heard about this, but now I understand. There's a photo that was posted. It's not this one, but this is one of the photos on one of the pool decks up there. But it was this photo right here. Have you seen this photo yet? Any of you out there? Take a good look at that and just see if you understand what this is. You might notice here at the very bottom of the picture, which would be like, okay, my finger is here, right there. There's a drink sitting there. You see that drink sitting there? It's kind of on a shelf, What you're looking at is not a kiddie pool. That's not a kiddie pool. What you're looking at is a spa. That's a hot water spa where you turn the button and the bubbles gyrate the water and nice hot water, right? Now the controversy I'm not sure it's controversial, but the talk is or the question was, why would Royal Caribbean install these hot tubs, these spa tubs, with see-through glass under the surface of the water? Because if you're above the pool on a kind of on a lounger, and the pool is below you, you can see the people down below sitting in the in the tub and letting the bubbles get them all loosened up. But here's a spa kind of at walking by level, and or sitting. You can sit in a chair right beside this thing, and you can look in, and you're now looking under the water surface at people's legs and hips and feet and navels and stuff. What's going on here? And apparently, the answers came back in various formats. There were various answers to this question, but no one seemed to give us the straight goods, the real. Until finally, I read a one-line response. Apparently, some people were saying this is a safety thing, that crew members who are in this area all the time are busy watching a lot of people come and go. They got the swimming pools going, so you got lifeguards, and you have other staff members looking after the needs of people with regard to towels or unfolding of a deck chair, And then you got the waiters. You've got the waiters bringing drinks and bringing food and picking up empty dishes, all that stuff. You got a lot of staff coming and going. And so there was talk that, well, this was a safety feature in case somebody, fell asleep while they were sitting there and they started to slip under the surface. They want to make sure no one's drowning down there, because once the bubbles are going, you don't know. But then someone else said, no, that's not it. no, that's not it. No, the answer here is someone came out and said, without wanting to be quoted, we kind of want to know what's going on down there. We've had incidents from time to time where certain guests decide to hop into one of these hot tubs without the see-through glass, turn on the button for the bubbles, and there are just times where the bottom half of a bathing suit isn't quite snug around the waist. It's more around the knees. And that's a little too low for the rules of the pool. And now they put in this glass to make sure that swimming suits are worn at all times properly by all guests, and there won't be any extracurricular activities in the spa tub. Apparently, that's the story making the rounds. I thought I'd show you that photo. Thankfully, this photo is where there's no one in the pool. It's just the hot tub by itself, and there's nothing to see here. But I kind of wonder, in an area like this with hundreds of people surrounding the pool and the hot tub area, I guess what we might be dealing with here is the possibility of some folks being somewhat exhibitionists, having an exhibitionistic kind of a desire to, just sort of see what's going on. Debbie's not impressed with it. Debbie, oh, gross. I gotta wonder, during spring break, just what goes on in some of these hot tubs where the bubbles are hiding all kinds of below the surface affairs. What are we dealing with here? I'm just reporting what I'm reading. I'm not making this up. I'm just passing on news. So if you happen to be on a cruise ship someday, you happen to walk by one of these hot tubs where the spas where the glass is giving you a clear view straight in, you kind of, do you really want to look in on that? Do you want to be the crew member assigned the job of go and check the hot tubs and make sure no hanky panky is going on? Do you really want that function on a cruise ship, or would you rather fold towels downstairs in the laundry department? I don't know. I just wonder. Anyway, that's a story. I'm just saying that's a story. Not making it up. It's just covering some of the things happening at sea on the high seas out there. What can I tell you? I don't know. Something else that I read today. It is not going to make you gross out or anything. There was a story out today. Apparently, Holland America. Let me pop this up for you. Okay, so apparently Holland America has a deal of some kind. It's called, if you read the headline out there, Holland America launches Save on Sunshine offer. And I sometimes I'm very hard on cruise lines, and maybe I shouldn't be, or maybe I should be. I don't know. Should I really be giving him a hard time? If you have a job in the PR, the public relations department of a cruise line company, or if you have a job in the PR department of an airline, you have a PR job for cigarette companies, whatever the business is, if you're in the PR department, you have got to sometimes you have to take a pig and put lipstick on it, make it look as pretty as possible, because the message is just, not all that exciting, or is blatantly looked upon by the public as bullcocky, as Sherman Potter used to say on MASH, bullcocky. Anyway, this headline right here, I pity the poor soul who had to come up with this. Save on Sunshine. Apparently, all this is, and Holland America is doing everything they can to promote this. They want to promote this fantastic scenario. What it is? It's a sale. It's just a sale. Those of you who've cruised a few times, especially if you've answered my poll question today, which now has 32 results. In your lifetime, you've been on more than 10 cruises. 50% of you, half of you, have answered the poll that I've been on more than 10 cruises. 28%, 5 to 10, and even less than 5, 16%. All of you folks who've been on a cruise in the past, and you've shopped for a cruise, you all know that you don't pay the so-called brochure price for a cruise. Next to impossible to do that. Unless, of course, you went right to the website of the cruise line, you didn't shop around anywhere else, and you just blindly paid whatever they told you to pay. I guess you paid brochure price. But really, if you shop around and you watch this channel or any of the other YouTube channels that talk about cruising, inevitably, those of us who tell you about cruising will tell you about websites you can go to for good deals, or to get an idea of what kind of a sale is going on, if there is a deal on a cruise. So the poor people in the PR department at Holland America, they had to promote this cruise. I keep forgetting what it's called. It's called Save on Sunshine offer. I can't believe they came up with Save on Sunshine. Can't you just find a headline that says Save on Caribbean cruises, or Save on a cruise, or Save on Sunshine? What the hell is that? Sunshine's free. I mean, come on. Anyway, I pity these people, because here's the deal that Holland America is offering. Here's how you can save, okay? They're offering 40% off on their cruises. Guys, if you go to vacationstogo.com, where I go a lot, and I promote them for nothing on this channel. They should sponsor me, actually, but they don't. But in any event, vacationstogo.com or cruises.com or any of these other sites, when have you ever seen a promotion where it's 40% off? It's usually 70, 80, 85% off the brochure price. And you find that a 1-week cruise out of Miami to the Caribbean and back in an out in a balcony cabin will run you now taxes in and port charges in $1,200-$1,400. That is 80% off the brochure price, because the brochure price is $10,000 or $8,000, and then you can get this cruise for only $1,400. Oh wow! Oh, am I ever saving? So when they talk about 40% off, really? I mean, really? I sound like Jerry Seinfeld. I mean, really? Come on. So that was one part of the promotion. Another part of the promotion that you can really save. This was, save sunshine, save on sunshine offer, save on sunshine. The number two feature was a 50% reduction on deposits. What kind of a discount is that? There's no discount whatsoever. It's just that you reserve your cruise with half the deposit that you normally need, which is usually the entire fare. So you put up half the money, 40% off, put up 30% of the price of the cruise as a deposit, and you're saving 50% on the deposit. That's two of three of the features of this Save on Sunshine deal. Are you kidding me? How do these people look at themselves in the mirror at the end of the day and ask themselves, why do I do this for a living? Can't I get a job promoting something else? There's the third feature, okay, the third and final feature of this Save on Sunshine Holland America promotion that is available to the world anytime you want, but you better hurry and book this. Apparently, the gratuity for crew members has been waived. So, bottom line is, you're not going to pay $18 a day in tipping charges to the staff. That's the whole thing. So, the sale is not discounted in price because they're always 80 to 90% off. They're not 40%. The discount, the deposit discount is a joke. You're going to pay for the cruise when you're going to take it, no matter what. So you're not saving anything. You got to come up with the money before you get on the ship. And the only discount they're giving you is they're going to waive the tipping for the poor crew member. So these overworked, understaffed employees are getting it in the left ear again from the cruise line. They're giving you an opportunity to make a fantastic savings on a cruise by taking it out on their lowest paid employees, because the top engineers, captains, crew members at the high end, they don't get tips. They get a nice salary. They get a very good salary with lots of benefits. It's the grunts down below who take it on the chin so that they can offer you a Save on Sunshine sale. I hate to sound like a pessimist, but that's the deal. And I just kind of go, you work in a PR department, and this is what you've come up with. This is your whole plan. The whole plan. This was it. I don't know if that's going to work too well. If I were a travel agent and I were working in a travel agency, which there are fewer and fewer of, as you know. In the old days, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, everywhere you went, there were travel agencies. But starting in the mid-90s, airlines and cruise lines and the bus lines and the train companies and hotels let you book yourself, because you were supposed to save all kinds of money if you could book yourself. It's not the case anymore. Anyway, there used to be travel agents. And if you were a corporate traveler for your company, and you had to go from New York to Cincinnati, and you had to do two days of meetings there, and then you had to fly to Chicago for 2 days of meetings there, and then you'd fly back to New York on Friday to be home with your family. Your travel agency in New York, on behalf of the corporation you work for, you would have your assistant work with the travel agency for all these flights, hotels, transfers, all be looked after. Well, those days are over, and here we are, in the real world right now. this whole booking it yourself thing is now on you, and there just are no deals. And these PR people are coming up with these pretend deals. If I were at a travel agency today, which, like I said, there are few left, and I got a promotion from Holland America of this deal, I'd look at this and chuck it in the garbage. I mean, I take a look at the paper that it came on. I go, oh, this is crap. Because I can book my passengers on all these other cruise lines already at 80, 85, 90% off the brochure price. And I can find them last minute deals that already include no tipping, or give you a free drink package, or you get a drink package and no tipping and internet all built in if you take the balcony cabin, blah, 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 blah. This to me would be such a disappointment, but that's just me. Maybe I'm just old and crotchety. I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. I can't say. Anyway, that was really something. Okay. I have one more story for you to tell you about. What else can I have? Wes, what I've read is that the Save on Sunshine, if you sailed in the winter, there you go. Sharon, work is work is work is work. There you go. That's true. Okay. One more thing to mention, and that is the other story, and that's about New Zealand. Have you heard about the story out of New Zealand lately? Here's a shot of of Auckland, New Zealand, and there you see a couple of ships that have come in right into downtown Auckland, and then here's another shot of, I think this is Wellington, the city of Wellington, which I believe is the capital. Wellington, I believe, is the capital of New Zealand. Here's a shot again of, I believe, Wellington, and there's a vernacular here. Very nice. That'd be a nice little ride there. And of course, another shot of New Zealand, the Southern Islands. You go through these fantastic fjord-looking scenes and amazing geography here. Here's another phenomenal picture. I mean, look at this. Does this remind you of Alaska or British Columbia? Isn't that beautiful? Anyway, New Zealand down under. Apparently, the story goes that if you arrive now on a cruise ship in New Zealand, built into your ticket is a tax. It's like a port charge, head tax. It's $11.48 New Zealand dollars, and as a rough form of calculation, if you took 60% of that, that's what that is in American money. So in reality, 11.48 New Zealand is probably about $6.50 to $7 US port charge to come into New Zealand. Now, apparently, this is a charge on a per day basis, from what I am gathering. If the ship docks, you pay this on a per day basis. But apparently, they want to raise this now. They want to raise this from 11.48 to 21.54. So that's going to be probably 14 American dollars. And they want to add another $10.58 New Zealand for something called a biosecurity levy. And in my vernacular, that's known as a tax and another tax. Rather than just charge one tax, we'll just cover up different taxes and just keep piling on. So now it's going to run about 32 New Zealand dollars per person if it comes into Auckland. Now, if they come into Auckland and then go into Christchurch and into Wellington, it might be triple that. Not 100% sure on this, but it sounds bad. Cruise lines are upset. They're calling this an 88% increase in taxation on passengers. And they want to start it this December, right now, starting in 4 months. I get the impression that what's happening here is what's happening all over the place. I've talked to you about Barcelona. Word now out of Barcelona is they're talking about a massive increase in head charges for cruise ship passengers. Whether you're leaving Barcelona to start your cruise or coming back or just visiting, you're going to get nailed a lot more money. They haven't revealed how much, but the rumor is substantial, like double, triple. Because Barcelona's drowning in tourists. They don't have a problem attracting tourists. They're drowning in them. Cruise ship passengers, as far as Barcelona is concerned, are the bottom feeders. The absolute worst are cruise ship passengers. Not that we're not nice people. We're wonderful people. We come in the morning. We leave in the afternoon. We don't tear up the city at night in the local bars or tapas and create fist fights or anything like that. We're gone. We're asleep on our cruise ships at sea. The problem with us as cruisers is we don't spend money when we come to town. We don't stay overnight very much. We don't go to restaurants. We don't go see shows. We don't drink. We don't do anything. We don't hire tour guides. We land at the Barcelona International Airport, make a beeline with a taxi or Uber to the cruise terminal and try to get on the ship that day. If we let's say we're from Europe in any event. If we're international passengers, okay, I understand. If you're flying from America or Canada, connection getting into Barcelona, I would recommend you do not get on your cruise ship right away. You stay in Barcelona 2 or 3 days because you've got to acclimatize. You got to change the time change. You don't want to be sick as a dog on your cruise ship for 2 days trying to acclimatize in wavy weather. Not a good idea. But cruise ship passengers are losers for the Barcelonians. We're losers. We don't spend big money. If we were staying at the Westin Hotel for 3 nights before our cruise or 3 nights in the Hilton after our cruise, we'd be welcomed with open arms. No problem at all. But we don't. We don't do that. We use Barcelona as a drop-off, kind of location. We're here and we're out of here. And that's what happened. In places like Venice, we're not welcome. Bottom feeders. We don't spend money in Venice. In places like Amsterdam, they're shutting down and going to tear down the building of the cruise port, of the passenger cruise terminal. They're going to rip it down. They don't want cruise ships in downtown Amsterdam. You can get off the ship in Brussels and bus in, but you're not doing that downtown because you guys, 4,000 of you people per ship, get off the ship, go running around our canal areas, and take a bunch of photos and a bunch of selfies, and you might buy one beer somewhere, and then you leave. You just don't spend any money here. You're useless to us. We don't want you. And so a number of cruise ports are doing this more and more. And New Zealand is figuring out, well, why don't we just triple the price for our country? Because frankly, where else are you going to go? I mean, you're going to go to New Caledonia? You're going to go to Fiji? You're going to go to Vanuatu? Knock yourself up. Sail for 3 days and avoid our costs. But where else are you going to see New Zealand for the splendor of New Zealand? It's time to cough up some cash and maybe to defend New Zealand, because I'm not mad at New Zealand. Maybe this is where New Zealand says to the world, hey, we haven't increased our fees to cruise lines in over 10 years. We got through the COVID years like everyone else, and here we are. We've got to charge more because inflation has eaten us alive like anyone else. And quite frankly, we're worth it. We are a very environmentally beautiful place. We only have 5 million people in the entire country, size of the UK practically. Instead of 60 million, we have 5 million. We have some of the most spectacular scenery, and you're getting in awful cheap. Maybe you should pay what we're worth. And maybe the cruise lines have been cheapskates in sharing the wealth with the Kiwis. And the folks in New Zealand have said, we tried to negotiate better deals with the cruise lines, but you know what? It's a lot easier just to charge a head tax. And that's what we're going to do. I would warn you, and I want to alert you all out there, the new normal is quickly becoming evident to me and hopefully to you. And that is, if you're going to go on a cruise and you're going to experience the good life, as they try to say, on board a cruise ship with fine dining and spa services and sun loungers with pools and jacuzzis and tanning opportunities and dancing and dining in the evening and having fun in the casino, all that on a board a ship, First of all, there's nothing wrong with it. It's fine, but you have to understand that you, as a passenger on board that cruise ship, are not making anyone richer other than the cruise operator. The countries that these ships would like to take you to get nothing other than a port charge for the ship and maybe a head tax. It's the only way they get anything. And when we get off these ships, we're full because we just had the big buffet breakfast. We've been eating way too much for 4 freaking days. We're broke because we spent all our money on the casino and on massages and on other tours and our cabins and our booze and our drink packages. We're hungover if we have a drink package, or we're not feeling ourselves. Now we're coming on to an island or a country for a 6-8 hour visit. What do you think we're going to do for 6-8 hours? We're going to spend thousands of dollars in a place like Auckland, New Zealand. I don't even know where I'd go. I don't know. I'm going on a tour. Oh, by the way, the tour was sold to me by the cruise line. I did the cruise line tour. I bought that on board. I bought that before I even left my house. It was added to my cost of my cruise. New Zealand is sitting there going, these cruise line people are deadbeats as far as we're concerned. We make nothing on these people. $7 a head we're charging US. The cost of our border agents, our drug patrol units, our Coast Guard services, keeping our ports up and running with the salt water trying to destroy everything. I mean, it doesn't pay. It's not like we're getting 30,000 passengers a day coming into Auckland, New Zealand. We got 1 or 2 ships. We got like 4,000 or 5,000 people coming in, got 30, 35 grand. That's what it cost us to house this monstrosity of a ship for the 6-8 hours it's here. And while it's here, it's spewing the smoke out of its smokestacks. Unless they have short of ship power, it's not going to happen. Can you blame these guys? I can't blame them. I really can't. I can see where Marseille, France, has had enough. Genoa has had enough. The port of Rome still is okay. Was it Civitavecchia, whatever it's called? I can't pronounce it. I can't pronounce it. That's not in downtown Rome. That's 80 kilometers, 50 miles away from downtown Rome. And so they don't bother 10 million people in Rome with the fumes coming out of there. But other places, cruise ships are just finding it tougher and tougher to get to. And there you go. There's the thing, isn't it? One thing I'll mention also about this princess story I talked about to start the show, about the news. When I was telling you about this feature here, and this feature here, and these other features that they were, trying to pull off and couldn't, and are now talking about literally dismantling. They're not going to offer them at all on a completed cruise ship, which is unbelievable to me. There used to be a time where we would get on a cruise ship, and the only thing we needed to make us happy, the only thing we wanted to give us satisfaction, was to be on a ship. That was it. I mean, there was a time where this was all that had to be provided by a cruise line, right there. A pool, a couple of hot tubs, a loungers, and the ocean view. And this was what it was all about for cruising. It all started about like this, and then it culminated at the end of the day. At dinner time would be a 3-hour food presentation. We would eat for 3 hours. Here's Queen Mary that Jen and I are going to be on. The food would be the star of the show, and then back to our cabin, and maybe we would have a breakfast in our cabin in the morning, have a light lunch during the day, and then have a grand dinner at the end of the day in the main dining room. And day in and day out, that was it. Ship went from point A to point B, like New York to Southampton, or New York to Naples in Italy, and back. And you'd be at sea for 6, 7, 8 days. And it's all a cruise line had to offer. Dancing in the evening with some music, and in the ballroom, they would have the smoking room for the smokers over there. that was it. Now we are just not satisfied, and I guess it's partially all for our fault that cruise ships have become like this. But it's also the way it is, isn't it? Here, look at all these pools that you can see from above, and the wave runner, and the all different stuff. I mean, my goodness, is this something else? In the 50s and 60s, we would never have thought of anything like this in the 50s and the 60s, that this would be cruising someday. But you can go on a ship like this for 3 nights, 4 nights, 5 nights, 7 nights, 10 nights, 12 nights. And you don't care where you go. You almost don't care. You're not going to get off the ship. You're just going to do this. And so, yeah, we've graduated to now where, something like this or something like this is what we expect. And I can understand it if you have a young teenage boy and girl. Your daughter is 14 and your son is 16. They would love this cruise ship. They might get bored of the Wave Runner pretty quickly, but they'd be on the Wave Runner hanging out with these guys. And the gals would be, enjoying themselves wherever they, 2 14-year-old girls can get together. Look out. They'll have all kinds of fun giggling everywhere. But look at that, this is a family cruise extraordinary. Of course, if you're a mother and father and you've got a 9-year-old and an 11-year-old, oh boy, are you happy, because your kids, you're not going to see them all day. They're just going to be in that water park for hours, and you and mom can relax on the lounger, and every hour or two, one of the kids will come by and you'll offer them some fries or something, and off they go. They're gone. But this is what cruising has become. This is what it is now. It's no longer, just this or just this. This is no longer what cruise lines are known for anymore. There's so much more to be that now must be provided for the North American cruiser. Yeah, well, it is what it is. I'm not complaining. I'm just reporting what I know, what I see, and where it's at. Ships get more elaborate every year, don't they? Don't they just? Amazing, isn't it? Yeah, hey, cruise ship nights. Isaac from Waco is here. Gas price $2.72. Welcome. Donnell, takes me back to my trip to New Zealand in 2005. I took that steep train ride in Wellington, the vernacular. I'd love to go back there by cruise ship sometime. 10 flights in 4 weeks. What a vacation. Sarah Brown, yeah, hi there, Uncle TWB. I made it on a live show, and I'm thumbs up number 34. Thank you so much. Sarah Brown, Donnell, welcome, Cruise Ship Nights, all of you who are here. Thank you again to those of you who have given us thumbs ups, number one. That is awesome. We were at 16 a little while ago. We're now at 37 thumbs ups. There are 31 people here, so people have come in here, popped the thumbs up button, hung around a while, moved on. Thank you. We have 39 votes now on our poll question. 39 votes. There's only 31 here. 39 votes. So far in my lifetime, I have been on more than 10 cruises. 46% are saying more than 10. 31% say 5 to 10. 13% are saying less than 5 cruises. And 10% of you are saying, I've never been on a cruise before. I'm here to learn all about it. And well, we appreciate you all popping in and seeing us. And hope you're learning a little bit more about the cruise business and the cruise experience. My suggestion for those of you who've never been on a cruise is to find a cruise itinerary and a cruise ship that meets your demographic. If you are an elderly person, you're over 65, 60, 65, semi-retired, retired, you don't need water slides. You don't need rock climbing walls. You don't need the disco life. You're looking to relax on a cruise. You're looking to unwind, to enjoy the spectacular views from sea, and visit a few spots maybe in the Caribbean or South America. Well, then you need to find a cruise line that fits your style. But if you're a parent and you've got an 8-year-old and an 11-year-old and a 14-year-old, and all 5 of you are going, or all 4 of you, a single mom, single dad, and 3 kids, oh my God. Well, then you're going to need a a ship that's going to handle those kits for you every day at sea, you're going to need help. You might need to be on a Royal Caribbean ship where you're going to Coco Key so that you can just say, see ya at 4 o'clock or at 3 o'clock, we'll see ya, or whatever. And off they go. Yeah, one never knows. You've got to find a cruise line that fits what you need. If you're like myself and Jennifer, we're 68 going on 69, maybe the cruise line for you is Viking Cruises. Maybe it's a river cruise in Europe. Maybe that's what it is. And you'll see castles from the river, and you'll go into a little town over here, and you'll go for a little walk into the town square for a few hours, get a coffee and a little piece of cake. Or you'll do a wine tasting at a winery or something. That's your tour. And then you come back to the boat, have a nap, and then get ready for dinner, have a little entertainment on board. That might be your style. You've got to find the cruise that fits you. The good news is there is a cruise for every one of you out there. There is a cruise for everyone out there. So don't worry about it. You don't have to worry about not finding something in the cruise area that works for you. Rocky Grasso's in the house. Hi there from Chesapeake, Virginia. It's 79 degrees in light rain here. Gas at 339. Number 6, thumbs up. Number 6, 21 cruises with 5 cruise lines. Right on, Rocky. Thank you for answering that question. Appreciate you. Richard Carlin is in the house. How you doing, Richard? Nice to see you. Welcome, one and all, to the channel tonight. From wherever you are, I hope you're having a good day today. You've had a good weekend. You're going to have a great week. You're plotting your next vacation getaway, wherever it's going to be. I hope you're well into that, or you're counting the days for your next cruise. I hope it all works out for you. Donnell, hi there, Debbie, Sharon, and Kevin, Wes, Kirk, Ken, Richard, Rocky, Sarah. Enjoyed the show, Bruce. Have a great week, everybody. See you here back next Monday. Thank you, Donnell, so much. Sharon, hi there, Donnell, to you in Cork, Ireland. Folks, thank you so much for joining me tonight. It's a pleasure to have you with us every week. Next week, 3 weeks away, baby. We are counting them down. 41 votes now have come in on the poll question. They keep coming. 41 now. 49% of you say, I've cruised on more than 10 cruises in my lifetime. 29%, 5 to 10. 12%, less than 5. 10% of you have never been on a cruise. Thank you for the thumbs ups today, everybody. Helping this channel. If you're watching on the rerun, we thank you so much, Jen and I, for giving us thumbs ups and letting us know what number you are. It's a pleasure, and it's just fantastic to see 3-4 days after the show airs, we are still getting thumbs ups from people watching on the rerun. It's fantastic, and you're letting me know what number you are. 39 votes now, 39 thumbs ups, and the poll question is at 41. Fabulous, everybody. Thank you so very much. Have a great week. We'll talk to you next week, let you know what we're seeing is going on and what they're talking about in the cruise world. And I look forward to catching up with you then. All the best to you from Calgary, where it's a bit smoky but warm. It's going to cool off later this week a little bit. We're looking forward to it. Take good care, everybody. We'll see you next time from Calgary. Bye for now.